Hi friends, welcome back to Adaptia training sessions. So in this session, we'll see how we can, publish a simple process flow as a REST API. And in the next part, we'll see how we can secure that REST API with some security. Okay. So either it can be a basic authentication or API key. We'll see that in the next part. So I have built a simple process flow where it receives the request from the client. That request is nothing but the employee ID, and this activity fetch or retrieve that ID from the request, and then this is the database source which takes that ID and retrieve the data from the database, and then last activity is the response activity which provides the response in XML format to a client. Okay, so first activity is nothing but the context source, okay, which listens the request, and then this activity is a data mapper which retrieves the employee ID from that XML request, and this is a database as I already explained, and this is the context target. So whatever data is coming from the database source, it catches that and send it back to a client. Okay, so for this process flow, to build this process flow, how many activities, artifacts we need in the backend? So the request is coming in XML format, so we need XML schema here, and this is a data mapper, and then we need a database source, and again we need a XML schema so that we can send that response from database source in XML format. Okay, so let's quickly go back to the web console and see how we can generate the schemas and how we can generate the database source and how we can create the data mapper. So first activity is we need to go to the schema. Okay, so before that, I'll show you how the request and response looks like. So before generating a schema, we need to build this XML. Okay, so we need to aware of what kind of request will be coming, what fields will be there in that request, and what the response is expected by the client. Everything we should know before defining any API. Okay, so request will be like this. So we need to save this request as XML. We are generating response as like this, so we need to save this. So both the XML files, whenever you are creating schema, we need to be ready with this XML files. Okay, so let's go quickly and then let's generate the schemas. So we need two XML schemas. So I already created those to save the time. I'll show you one how to create it. Okay, so name description is common. This put it, I mean, keep it default, and then choose that file, the response, right, which this there in the XML file. So once you select it, your XML is ready. Just assign the project, that's it. So both the schemas will be creating like this, and then from the request we are retrieving the employee ID, right? So for that we need a data mapper. So once you go to the data map section, you can create the data mapper. So give name and description again. Once you click the data mapper, it opens in the Java applet and it looks like this. Okay, so initially both the side will be empty, so you need to select the schema. Okay, in the left side, which is XML, what we need is, if you search, you can search it like this. Okay, so we need a request, right? From request we'll be reading the employee ID. So source side you need to select that. Okay, and then right side I need a variable, that's it. And that variable, if I want to use to in the entire process flow, then it has to be a context variable. Okay, so how to create this context schema? You need to go to the actions here, create context schema. Here you need to give that variable name. Okay, and once you create this context, you can see this is a context variable. So once you create this context variable, you can go to the load schema again and select that context schema and then add it to the right side. One point here to note is, if you choose context schema, you won't be able to choose any other schema here. Okay, so only any of the side, if you select context schema this side or this side, you can use only context schema that side. You won't be able to select other schemas. Okay, multiple schemas with the context schema not possible in Adaptia. Okay, so what I did is, from the request, I just drag and drop this employee ID. So this XM context schema will be having that. Okay, and then we have database source. Next activity will be database source, which takes this ID, which is coming from the data mapper. And then we'll go to the, so to create database source, we need a database schema. So we already created database schema yesterday in the last session. So that is simply, it's, pulling all the columns. If you see the query, it's pulling all the columns, and the same schema I'm using it. And let me create the database source. If I go to this database, so I'm using advanced database source, and then I've created new database source. So here, if you see, I'm using database info and that get employee schema. Okay, and in edit query, this is coming from the schema, database schema, and this extra part I'm adding where ID equal to capital ID. Then if you notice here, there is a syntax to read the context variable in the activities. Okay, in Java code, we are using context dot get and context dot put to save and retrieve the value. But if you want to access any context variable value in any activity, it can be a context put context variable or web service console, wherever we need to use $$ and then context variable name and $$. Okay, so that value which is coming from the data mapper will sit here, and then this query will get executed and it will generate the output that will be in XML format. Okay, so that we have seen. So if I say this context source and context target, we don't need to create because these are the inbuilt activities in the action part. So whatever is mentioned in the action part, we don't need to create. This won't go and sits in the database tables. So these activities will be there in the process flow itself. Okay, so we don't need to create these activities in the web console. Okay, we need to note this so there are few activities like let me show you in the activities from the action part, and few activities like repeater service, context source, context target, put context. Those are like activities you don't need to create in the console. Okay, so our process flow is ready, which takes the ID and gets gives the data for the employee. Okay, let's see how we can expose this simple process flow as a web service. So let me go quickly here. So we were discussing about the web service column here. So if you are consuming outside service, then we need to create consumer. If you are exposing your process flow, you need to create a provider. So I already created provider. What it does, it takes your process flow. This is your process flow. You need to select the process flow, and then you need to tell the resource path with what resource path you want to expose this as a API, and then you need to select the API version. This is optional. If you want to select it, otherwise it's optional. Okay, and then select the REST because you want to expose it as a REST. And then we are sending actually we are receiving a request in the form of XML, right? So you need to select the method here. So you can select any method, get, put, post, or delete. Okay, so we need a request. That means we are expecting somebody. So we need to use the post method. So let me show you how I've configured. So I chose the post method, and then if you see in the, let me show you quickly. So this guy is a context source which is storing coming request in the REST request. Okay, REST request is a variable, context variable again. Okay, and we are sending the response in the context variable from the context variable. Okay, so coming request sits in the REST request, and going response, right, that sits in the REST response. So these two variables, if you see, these are sitting here, the REST request and REST response. Okay, and we are forcing it. It has to be XML, and response also will be XML. So that's what we are mentioning here. If you say text, right, we don't need any schema. If I change it to a text, I don't need any schema. Okay, but if I say XML, then definitely it's asking for a schema. Okay, so we need to select that schema. That is nothing but the request. Okay, request schema which we have created already. So this is the method configuration we have already created. Let's go to the other part. So till now I have not applied any security policy because first part I wanted to show you without any security. Okay, so now once I create this web service provider, now it is already exposed as a REST API. So if you want to see the endpoint, this is what the endpoint. Okay, so since it's running on localhost, I can copy this. So I can run this API from any client. So let me run it from the client first. So let me copy this. sorry, control. So you can see it here. Okay, and this is the post method, and this is what the body we are passing. And let me hit this. Okay, so you can see for 23, if I go to the database, and if you see 23, MySing is there, and you can we are same data we are receiving here. This you can check it through the Adaptia console itself. They have provided an API doc, so we can choose the API doc here. They have given the UI where we can post our request. So the similar request will let's post this one, and let's hit the okay. You can see it here. Same response we are getting it here. Okay. So now, but this is how we can generate the output and then verify the API whether it's generating the proper output or not. Okay. Then, but right now it's not secured. So let's see how we can secure this API. So there is something called let's go back to the okay. So there is a section again. We need to go to web service section and security policy. Okay, so here I have created security policy, which is for WS provider, which is web service provider. You can create it for the WS consumer also, for HTTP source also. So once you give name and description, you need to select what kind of authentication you want. I already told that we can use API key or basic authentication. So for demo purpose, I use the API key so that I can show you how to generate the API key here. Okay. So I choose one, we need to give a key name. Okay. And this key name we need to use, I'll show you how we can use. So this is how we need to create the security policy. Okay. And we chose that the authentication time is API key. That means we need an API key with this key name. Okay. So let's see how we can generate the API key. So Adaptia already exposed a REST API to generate the API key. So that URL is something like this. Okay. Adaptia REST API. Let me copy and paste it in the notepad so that you can see it here. Okay. So if you see till here, it's the REST API exposed, and this is the query parameter. And if you see, this is the ID of the provider. Okay. This is the entity ID of the provider. Let me show you this one. So once your security policy is ready, we'll go back and create the API key. Let me show you the provider first. So we need to get the entity ID. So this is what that ID. Okay, if I copy this and if I control, yeah, this is the ID. Okay, so this URL we need to build. Okay, and then if you see the body, this is the key name which I used in the security policy, and this value you can pass it anything. So this key you can keep it here based on your environment, because every environment will be creating different API key, right? So you smartly you can use this key name. Maybe you can say dev ID, you can say, but this value will be same for all the environment. Entity ID won't change at all even if you deploy to different environment. Okay, so you need to pass this body. Okay, try to give here unique body for each environment and then generate. So once you hit it, you'll be generating this API key. This API key used. So let's copy this. Okay, and once you're ready with the API key, once you're ready with the security policy, you can apply that security policy on web service provider. So this provider was ready. Till now we have not applied. So I have created that security policy here. Once you say save this, now if I say API doc, right? Now it's asking C authorization. Till now, if I go back to that tab here, there was no API key option, right? Now you can see it here. So here you need to pass that API key. Just now we have created it. Let me pass that, and the body will be this one. Okay. So let's copy this and paste the body here. Okay. Let me change the value for now so that we can see the different result. Okay. So you can see that it's changed now 24 for 24. If you see the database 24, there is a Rahul Dravid. Okay. So let me show you whether it's working or not. Let's go and delete one character from here and say try it now. See here, JWT signature does not match locally. Okay. So if you see this result means something, either your API key is expired or whatever API key you passed it, that is wrong. Okay. Or invalid. So this is how, so now this API is exposed, right? You can consume this API in other process flows and pass that request and get the result. Okay. So yeah, that's it from this session. So we have seen how to expose the API as a REST API, and then we have seen how to secure by API key authorization. Yeah, that's it from this session. Thanks for watching. Please share with the friends. If you're not subscribed it, please subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon, and please go through the old sessions. I'll add those links in the description below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next videos.